Hey all, it is your friend Marissa, and today I'm doing something a little bit different. I got this idea from Allie and Holly, who are two real estate agents in the Milwaukee area, and also from Chelsea Peterson, who has a podcast and a content membership. She's based out of Madison, Wisconsin. So it is a favorites video of some sort, but it is the report. So it is what I am reading, eating, playing, obsessing, recommending, and trying. So today I'm gonna play a little bit of catch up because obviously I haven't done this from January through March. So April is going to be all of my favorites up until this point. In the future, I'm really gonna try to narrow it down to just one thing in each category. But today I just cannot. So bear with me. This video will be a little bit longer than the future monthly reports. First of all, what I am reading. So Every Summer After by Carley Fortune was the first book that I read of 2024. I'm usually not a huge fan of just regular romances, but this one was very summery and it just made you feel like you were on summer vacation, like when you're in high school and you actually get to have your whole summer vacation, like not working or something. So I thought this was really cute, liked this book. And then I ended up picking, on a totally different note, I ended up picking up the Haunting and Hunting Adeline books. So these two are a series. They're pretty large. They're like 600 pages each or something like that. And these are a dark romance. So they are a little bit different than your typical romance. Definitely not for everyone, but I was recommended these by a few people and I ended up liking them. So I liked those. And then I also read The 7-Year Slip. I've been recommending that to everyone. It was just such a beautifully written romance. And my mom actually has it right now, so I don't have it physically with me. But I've been recommending it to everyone. It was so sweet, and there was a little bit of a twist, and there's a little bit of like time travel actually. I don't want to share too much about all these books because I hate when people give you kind of like too much information on a book and then it's like, well, that kind of just spoiled it for me. I am currently reading this. It is The Kiss Countdown. It is by Etta, Easton. And I just found this at the library. I read the back of it and I was like, that sounds cute. I brought it home with me. I'm not finished with it. I'm about halfway through, but it is very cute so far. Amory is the main character. She is jobless and single, and she used to be an event planner at a large company, but since being let go, she has started her own company and she's a little bit tight on cash. And then she runs into this guy at a coffee shop, and of course it's a book, so I don't know if this would actually happen in real life, but he offers for her to come live with him rent-free if she will pretend to be his girlfriend. So it's a cute one. I would recommend it. I like it so far, even though I'm not done with it. Okay, next we're gonna move on to eating. First thing is what I've been having for breakfast. I have been eating this Primal Kitchen Collagen Fuel. It is like a chocolate coconut flavor, so there's not a lot that you need to add to this smoothie. I do like 1 scoop of this, 1 banana, and then a little bit of oat milk or coconut milk, and it's very good. It's like a chocolate banana smoothie, and it's generally pretty healthy. So I have been loving this. I'm actually starting to run out, but this is what I have been loving for breakfast. Another thing I have been loving, which I will link in the description and I will put a picture up here, is this like Asian inspired chicken salad. And it's not like your chicken salad sandwiches, it's like an actual salad. And I am not a huge salad fan at all. And Max is like, we should have salad one of these days when I ask him what he wants to eat. And I just don't love salads. They don't fill me up. I feel like there's not a whole lot of flavor. So when I came across this salad recipe and we tried it, it was so good, like actually so good. And the sauce is like homemade and it's tangy and gingery. It's like actually a little bit spicy depending on how much ginger you put in, but it is incredible. I'm actually so impressed and excited to make it again. Next, we have playing, and there are a lot of things in this category because I definitely consume a lot of music and podcasts and TV shows and movies. Not so much the TV shows and movies, but I love just turning on a movie in the background sometimes while I'm working on stuff. So I've got my laptop over here, I'm checking my notes. Loving Ariana Grande's Eternal Sunshine album, her newest album. And then just the other day, Benson Boone's album, I think, came out. I started listening to that. It's incredible. So those are the two albums that I've been really obsessing over. And then I have a spring playlist on Spotify as well. Think like when you would go shop at Kohl's and it's like the music that they would play at Kohl's. So it's like Colby Calais, like Natasha Bedingfield, and like all of those like throwback ones that are just chill, and it's just something nice to have on while you're in the car and you've got the windows down. I also have been loving, my friend Sammy told me that she does a 2024 playlist on her Spotify. So I started doing that. I usually just put them all in the liked songs, but then you get sick of them really fast, and sometimes you just want to listen to the newer songs all on shuffle. So I started a 2024 playlist, and I have been absolutely loving that. So if you have not yet started a yearly playlist and put songs in there specifically from those years, I would highly recommend it. And then my favorite podcasts, I have 3 that I listen to on the regular. I listen to the Hustle Humbly podcast. They have new episodes on Mondays, and they are a real estate podcast, and it's mostly real estate focused, but there's also a little bit of business for everyone. But I love listening to Katie and Alyssa. I've been listening to them for years, and it just feels like they're my mentors, and I love all of the advice that they give. They're so entertaining to listen to. I love their stories, and I love learning from them. Next, we've got the Marketing Bar podcast by Chelsea Peterson out of Madison, Wisconsin. And I believe she either puts up new episodes on Mondays or Tuesdays, but hers are weekly. She is on a little bit of a break right now, but she's coming back in May, I believe, and I am so excited. She is a social media wizard and a content queen. So I love getting ideas from her, and I really look up to everything she does. Last but not least is kind of my like personal entertainment. So those ones are more like businessy, but then we've got a comedy, relationships, and dating podcast. It's called Girls Gotta Eat, and I think I've been listening to this podcast for the longest amount of time. It seriously feels like Ashley and Raina are my older sisters, and they're so funny. So I actually like they do specific topics and themes in their episodes. Sometimes it's just the two of them, sometimes they have a guest on, but in like the first half of the episode, they'll recap what's going on in their life at the moment and talk about what they're loving and recommending. And honestly, that's like my favorite part of the episode. I love when it's just the two of them. Don't get me wrong, I love when they have guests too, but when it's just the two of them talking for the entire episode, I don't know why, but I just love it so much, and they're hilarious. They also do live shows, which I have not been to yet, but I would love to in the future. So if any of you watching are Girls Gotta Eat listeners and you want someone to go with, definitely reach out to me, because I don't know anyone else who listens to Girls Gotta Eat, and I just love them so much. And then I've got 2 movies. The first one is not really a specific thing. It's just older rom-coms. So like 2000 to 2010, those older rom-coms. Loving those so much. They're just nostalgic. Then also Freaky with Vince Vaughn. It is a newer movie. I think it came out in 2020, but it is a horror comedy. And I just watched that with my friend Sammy a couple weekends ago, and I actually really liked it. Basically, Vince Vaughn is a serial killer, and then there's this high school girl who's kind of invisible. And at one point they switch bodies, and so now the high school girl is in Vince Vaughn's body, which is hilarious, and Vince Vaughn is the serial killer, is in the high school girl's body. So obviously it's very chaotic, but I really enjoyed that one. So if you like horror comedy, you might want to check it out. If you don't really like horror, I probably wouldn't recommend it. Next, we're going to move on to O, which is Obsessing, and I am obsessing over our kitchen pantry that we got from Wayfair. I was originally thinking that I was gonna put a bar cart and then we're gonna put our microwave and our water filter on top of that. All the bar carts ended up being too narrow, so I needed something wider, and I found that a baker's rack or a kitchen pantry, like standalone kitchen pantry, were the keywords that I needed to be searching. Another thing I'm obsessing over, obviously, I have an obsession with Neenah, Wisconsin, okay? I don't know what it is. It's nostalgic to me. It was the closest town when I was growing up in my childhood home. That is where we would go for groceries, and anytime we went for like fast food, like Neenah was the closest city to us, so I just feel like it's nostalgic and I have a lot of memories there. So I'm loving Neenah as always. I love the Neenah library so much. I have a couple books checked out already. This one, The Love Hypothesis, which I have not read, but I've heard it's good. And then Remarkably Bright Creatures is another really popular one that is currently on hold that I have to pick up. But also loving going to Riverside Park and just walking around. That is just my greatest joy. I just love that place so much. So anytime that I'm over there anyway, or I'm feeling like a little bit longer of a walk, I will just drive out to Neenah and I will go for a walk around Riverside. Another thing I am obsessing over is my new gimbal for my phone. A gimbal is a stabilizer so you can get super smooth shots. And this one, this little thing right here, if you activate it, it will literally follow you. So obviously you can film in portrait or you can film horizontally with this thing, and there are tons of different modes. There's a little stand right here, so you can use it as a tripod, and then there's a toggle too, so if it's like straight up and you want it tilted more while it's like in tripod mode, you can do that. But I'm loving it so far. I've only had it for like half a week, but I'm obsessed with it. I was between this one and the DJI one, but Max has a DJI drone and I can't even fly it because I don't have an iPhone, and I guess they're just more compatible with iPhone, the whole brand in particular. So I went with the Hohem, I don't know exactly the model, but obviously I'll put it on the screen and I'll put it in the description. Next is R for recommending. I am shouting from the rooftops. My friend Cass shot my branding photos last Friday and they are absolutely gorgeous, and I cannot wait to do future shoots with her. She's so easy to work with, so fun to work with, very patient, full of great ideas. We went to Lawless in Neenah for the photos and it was a perfect spot. There were so many cute spots in Lawless, especially the front room with all the windows and like the checkered floor. I just loved it. So we had a great time shooting some branding pics. So if you need any branding photos, family photos, couples pictures, really anything, she's your girl. She's based out of the Fox Cities, so I will leave her information in the description as well. Another place I am religiously recommending is Nana's Apothecary. It is in Appleton, Wisconsin, and they have candle making and bath bombs and just everything relaxation, and it is so cute in there. They have a shop dog and they have a big bathtub filled with rubber duckies. It's just so cute. It's so Instagrammable, so definitely stop in there. It's right off of Badger Avenue and it is fantastic. Okay, we've made it to the last category, which is trying. I am trying self-tanning again. So I guess I've only done this like once, so I can't say that I've tried it that much, but I used to in high school for cheer competitions and for prom. I just picked up the Saint Tropez self-tanner. I got the Express one this time, and like seriously, I don't have any streaks anywhere. So I would recommend that too if you're looking into some self-tanner. I haven't tried the Loving Tan one yet, but I almost got that one because I've heard it's so good. If you have any really good self-tanners, definitely leave them in the comments for me. Another thing that I've been trying are Pilates workouts on YouTube. I have been watching Move with Nicole's videos. They are killer, but they're so good. I love that it's similar to yoga, but it gives you a really nice burn. So it's kind of funny because I used to do Pilates with my mom when I was younger. We would like work out together when I was younger, and so it's just kind of a nostalgic thing too, and I'm familiar with some of the movements. And I think that is pretty much everything on my list. So I hope you found some things that you are excited to try and you enjoyed watching some of my favorites from this year. Be sure to tune in next month. The video will be a lot more concise because I will only have one thing in each category, but I just couldn't pick one thing, so I had to share everything. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.